Hollywood has always pushed boundaries, but when certain actresses appeared nude on screen, it didn't just shock audiences, it sparked outrage, debate, and even career-defining controversy. Today, we're counting down 16 Hollywood actresses whose bold on-screen nudity challenged industry norms and changed film history forever. Marilyn Monroe. Long before Hollywood openly discussed celebrity privacy, Marilyn Monroe found herself at the center of one of the industry's earliest scandals. Early in her career, struggling to survive financially, Marilyn posed nude for a calendar shoot. At the time, it meant little, until she became the most famous woman in the world. When the photos resurfaced, the media exploded, predicting the end of her career. Instead of denying or hiding, Marilyn chose honesty. She publicly admitted the photos were real and explained the circumstances behind them. Surprisingly, audiences responded with empathy rather than outrage. Her transparency transformed a potential career disaster into a moment of cultural change, challenging Hollywood's rigid moral standards. The incident exposed the hypocrisy of the studio system and highlighted the pressure placed on young actresses. Today, Marilyn's response is remembered not as scandal, but as one of the earliest acts of celebrity self-ownership in Hollywood history. Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone became the center of one of Hollywood's most explosive controversies after her appearance in Basic Instinct. A brief nude moment in the film shocked audiences and dominated global headlines, instantly turning the movie into a cultural phenomenon. What made the situation even more controversial was Stone's later claim that she had not fully understood how the scene would appear on screen. The moment ignited fierce debates about consent, power dynamics, and the treatment of actresses in the industry. While the role catapulted her to international fame, it also subjected her to intense media scrutiny and typecasting. Critics argued over whether the scene was artistic or exploitative, while audiences couldn't stop talking about it. Decades later, the scene is still referenced as a turning point in Hollywood history, one that exposed the blurred lines between creative vision and personal boundaries in filmmaking. Halle Berry. Halle Berry sparked major controversy when she appeared topless in Swordfish, a move that surprised both fans and critics. At the time, Berry was already an established actress, and many questioned why such a scene was necessary. Media outlets fixated on the moment, often ignoring her performance and reducing the discussion to shock value alone. Berry later explained that the decision was carefully considered and tied to the character, not publicity. Despite the backlash, the role marked a turning point in her career, placing her firmly in Hollywood's A-list. The controversy also highlighted a recurring issue in the industry: how female nudity is marketed and judged far more harshly than male counterparts. In retrospect, the scene is remembered less for outrage and more as an example of how actresses are pressured to navigate fame, expectations, and artistic choice under intense public scrutiny. Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie's early Hollywood career was defined by fearless choices that frequently stirred controversy. In several of her breakout roles, Jolie appeared nude or semi-nude, presenting characters that were raw, intense, and emotionally unfiltered. These scenes shocked audiences at the time and quickly set her apart from the traditional image of a Hollywood leading lady. Critics were divided, some accused her of using shock value, while others praised her refusal to conform to industry expectations. Jolie later stated that these roles reflected her desire to explore complex, damaged characters rather than chase mainstream approval. While the controversy drew relentless media attention, it also helped establish her reputation as a daring and unconventional performer. Looking back, her early choices are often seen as the foundation of a career built on independence, creative control, and a willingness to challenge Hollywood's comfort zones. Demi Moore. Demi Moore caused widespread controversy with her role in Striptease, a film that pushed nudity and female sexuality into the mainstream spotlight of the 1990s. At the time, Moore was one of Hollywood's biggest stars, and her decision to appear nude shocked both fans and critics. The media focused heavily on her body and paycheck, making her the highest-paid actress of that era, while largely ignoring the film's themes. Critics questioned whether the role empowered or exploited her, sparking national debate. Although Striptease received mixed reviews, Moore's bold choice challenged Hollywood's double standards and expectations placed on women at the height of fame. Over time, the controversy has come to represent a moment when an actress took control of her image, even as the industry struggled to accept it. Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet stirred global discussion after appearing nude in Titanic, a film that reached audiences of every age and culture. Unlike many controversial scenes, her nudity was framed as artistic and emotionally intimate rather than provocative. Still, the moment sparked intense media attention and unexpected backlash, with critics focusing more on her body than her performance. Winslet openly spoke about feeling uncomfortable with how her image was scrutinized, particularly regarding unrealistic beauty standards. She later became a vocal advocate for body positivity and authenticity in film. The scene, now iconic, is often remembered as a turning point in mainstream cinema, where vulnerability replaced glamour. Rather than harming her career, the controversy helped establish Winslet as an actress unafraid of honesty, depth, and emotional risk, reshaping expectations for leading women in Hollywood. Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron shocked audiences with her raw and unglamorous transformation in Monster, a role that included moments of nudity presented without any Hollywood polish. Unlike typical on-screen nudity, Theron's scenes were deliberately uncomfortable, meant to reflect the harsh reality of the character's life. The decision stirred controversy because it shattered her image as a glamorous leading lady. Critics and viewers were divided, some praised her bravery and commitment, while others were unsettled by how real the performance felt. Theron later explained that removing vanity was essential to telling the story honestly. The risk paid off when she won the Academy Award for Best Actress, proving that nudity used for storytelling, not spectacle, could redefine an actor's career. Today, her performance is widely regarded as one of the boldest and most transformative in modern Hollywood history. Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman stirred controversy with a series of daring roles that included on-screen nudity, particularly in films like Eyes Wide Shut. At the time, her decision shocked audiences who were accustomed to seeing her in more polished, traditional roles. The film's intimate nature, combined with intense media focus on her personal life, turned the performance into a cultural flashpoint. Critics debated whether the nudity served the story or existed purely for shock value. Kidman later explained that the vulnerability was essential to portraying emotional truth and psychological complexity. While the controversy drew relentless tabloid attention, it also marked a turning point in her career. She emerged as an actress willing to take artistic risks, challenge expectations, and prioritize character depth over comfort. Today, those performances are seen as bold steps that expanded the range of roles available to leading women in Hollywood. Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson became the subject of controversy early in her career when she appeared nude in roles that emphasized realism over glamour. Unlike traditional Hollywood nudity, her scenes were often quiet, restrained, and tied closely to character development. Despite this, media coverage fixated on her body rather than her performance, sparking debates about how young actresses are sexualized by the industry. Johansson later spoke openly about the pressure placed on her image and the double standards women face in Hollywood. She emphasized that the nudity was never meant to provoke but to serve the story authentically. While the controversy followed her for years, it did not define her career. Instead, Johansson used the attention to advocate for better representation and creative control, eventually becoming one of the most influential actresses of her generation. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence found herself at the center of intense controversy, not because of a traditional film role, but due to how Hollywood and the media handled her image. While her on-screen nudity in films like Mother was brief and story-driven, public reaction quickly overshadowed the artistic intent. At the same time, the illegal leak of her private photos sparked global outrage and forced serious conversations about privacy, consent, and digital exploitation. Lawrence spoke openly about feeling violated, making it clear that the issue was not nudity, but control. Her honesty shifted the narrative, highlighting how female actors are often blamed for situations beyond their control. Rather than damaging her career, the controversy strengthened her voice as an advocate for respect and accountability in the industry. Today, her experience is remembered as a defining moment in Hollywood's reckoning with digital ethics.